Hi, this is Dan Predpol, President of Successful Consultant Training. As consultants, we're always looking for the Holy Grail. What do we need to do to be really successful? I've been a fan or a follower of Tony Robbins for over 20 years. I began managing a large consulting firm office in the early 1990s, and I applied many of Tony's concepts to my job. More recently, though, Tony has focused more on business success, and one of his key ideas involves the importance of anticipation in business. In this video, we'll see why anticipation is such a powerful concept in consulting. The basis for this video are two quotes from Tony Robbins. First, anticipation is the ultimate advantage in business. And second, if you're not anticipating, you are reacting. Now, the use of anticipation is not new news. For example, I've applied this technique for decades in my own consulting practice. I just called it identifying market trends, for example. However, when Tony Robbins says it, I assume it carries a bit more weight than if I say it. Now we'll see how anticipating is especially a secret sauce for consultants. When you anticipate the direction of your market or where your client's needs will be in the future, you start a chain reaction, as shown in this slide. When you anticipate, you are, by definition, behaving proactively. Being proactive puts you in control of your future, and this in turn renders your competition ineffective and delivers more success. Next, we'll see why this is so. Now here's what I call the ultimate success process for consultants. While it's quite straightforward, it's still a very powerful tool and concept. Step number 1, anticipate the future. Knowing the road ahead is extremely valuable to your business. Step 2, create improvement solutions. There are 4 ways that you can help your client and improve their business, coming shortly. Step 3, proactive implementation. And what we mean here is to be proactive by offering your client services that will help them negotiate their future. Let's take a look at each of these steps. As we just said, step number 1 is anticipate the future. If you know what the future brings, this insight will become an important competitive advantage for you. When you help clients see the future, they start to focus on you and stop listening to other consultants. Anticipating the future also enables you to be proactive, to stay one step ahead of your competition. Consultants that can work proactively tend to grow faster. If you operate on the flip side, being more reactive, you tend to lose momentum in your business and face much higher resistance in the marketplace. Let's look at how to anticipate the future. So how do you anticipate? We'll answer that question in 2 different ways. First, let's look at anticipation from a purely mechanical perspective. Anticipation can be defined as comprising 3 steps as shown on the slide. Scenario development, identification of consequences of each scenario, and the computation or estimation of expectations or outcomes of each scenario. Once the expectations are known, a decision can be made regarding the most attractive or desirable outcome or outcomes. Then decisions can be made in anticipation of these outcomes. For example, improvements can be developed or other types of appropriate responses to the anticipated future state. An example is shown in the slide. Our scenario is we want to purchase a parcel to build a retail store. The parcel previously housed a gas station. Now there may be soil or groundwater contamination present on this parcel. The consequences could be just some soil discoloring at the surface from small spills of oil or gasoline. Or soils could be contaminated down to, say, 10 feet or more. Or spilled gasoline leached through the soil and affected the groundwater beneath the parcel. The expectations are a minor cost to clean up a small amount of soil at the ground surface, a more significant cost to dispose of a large quantity of contaminated soil, or the worst case, the groundwater is contaminated, in which case the site should not be purchased. This slide shows 5 different ways to anticipate the future so you can develop services to help your prospects and clients deal with the future. First, we can review state and federal government initiatives, or what they're spending money on. Various government publications are available addressing many subject areas. Second, look at industry trends. For example, If, like me, you work in the power industry, you might review trade publications from the Edison Electric Institute or articles in the publication Public Utilities Fortnightly. In addition, I would monitor the website Energy Central. You can do the same thing in your industry area. Third, watch what your competitors are doing. Look at their company sites on the web or on LinkedIn. Monitor key executives who are on LinkedIn. Fourth, interview or survey key experts in your industry or field. One thing you can do is ask, say, 5 experts for their take on an industry. Offer to publish a summary of the interviews for each person who participated. Fifth, the obvious way, simply ask your prospects or clients about how they see the future. What opportunities or threats or risks do they see in the next year? Their answers may trigger some thoughts about how you can help them. This slide shows the basic business life cycle for a product or a service. For a successful service, the first phase is typically characterized by high growth as the market evaluates the service and sees the benefits. Next, you enter a period of steady growth as competitors begin to enter your market. Your service starts to look like a cash cow. Third, business levels off and then begins a slow decline as the cow ages and turns into a dog. When you anticipate the market, you're ahead of everybody else, which gives you a leg up for a while. Anticipation is your entry ticket into the high growth or cheetah phase. Okay, we've looked into our crystal ball and identified a couple of trends out there that will impact our clients. Now, what do we need to do from what you've learned from your crystal ball? This slide shows 4 actions that we can take to proactively help our clients. First, we can optimize. To optimize means to improve an existing process so that it's delivering results close to its maximum capability, where it generates the most benefits for the least cost or investment. To do this, we must understand how the processes are performing now. Are the processes operating at a consistent level of desired output, or does the process variability impede our results? Once we understand a process, we can go about improving it. Second, we can customize our service offering to be more applicable to the client's needs. Once we understand what the needs are, we can devise an offering that looks like it was created especially for this application. And this can be done in a variety of ways. For example, you can implement a process differently to be more compatible with the client's application. Or you can create a clever description of your service that employs language that your client uses internally, and even give your offering a name related to the firm's activities or business. The bottom line is to make your offering appear to be perfectly suited to your client's application. Third, we can innovate a new service offering for this client's need. Now, innovation, by contrast to optimization, may be more difficult or challenging a proposition for you. However, you should be scheduling time each week for creative time to develop new offerings. Over time, this will pay off big time. Unfortunately, most of us are simply too busy to set aside time just to think. At least we think that we're too busy to think. It's just a time management problem. Remember that innovation doesn't have to involve developing an entirely new service. Perhaps you can repackage your service differently. Use a more distinct report format. And fourth, you can mitigate. And by that we mean reduce risk. When you're working for a client, you should always be looking for risks facing that client. Or if you're working on a specific project, you should be keeping an eye on the project risks. All clients face risks, and this provides you with an opportunity to reduce those risks through some type of mitigation. Okay, we've mentioned 4 ways to identify improvement solutions for your client. Once again, these solutions follow from your predictions of the future that you made in step number 1. Now the last step is called proactive implementation. Step 3A asks the question, which improvement solution is best? Back in step 2, we evaluated the 4 ways to improve: customization, optimization, mitigation, and innovation. We select the best solution, or the one that best satisfies the client's needs. In step 3B, we create a new offering around the solution. package the solution to make it appear that it fits the client's needs like a glove. Step 3C is simply to propose that solution to your client. So the ultimate success process ends with a proposal or offer to your prospect or client. And we're not talking about a proposal that responds to a formal request for proposal or RFP. We're talking about a sole source proposal that originates only from you and not your competitors. So there you have it, the ultimate success process for consultants with an assist from Tony Robbins. Anticipate the future, identify ways to help your clients deal with the future, and develop improvement solutions via customization, mitigation, innovation, or optimization, and then offer the best solution to your clients. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions or would like to receive information about our training programs, just drop a note to Dan@successfulconsultanttraining.com.